Well, of course, the legacy of the Games stretches further than just the sports, and athletes with large swathes of East London seeing massive regeneration in the run-up to the Games. Well, joining me now is James Kennell, an expert in regeneration at the University of Greenwich's Business School. James, thank you very much indeed for your time this evening. If we look at London more broadly, it's already one of the world's top tourist destinations. One could argue that smaller economies might benefit more from an event like this than somewhere like London, which already attracts such a lot of people to come and visit.
Well, you need to be a city on a certain scale to even think about hosting something like this. Smaller cities just can't cope with an event of this size. And really, London's almost full to bursting with tourists. If you're here, especially places like Greenwich in the summer, which have got the equestrian events at the moment, normally when you go there, it's absolutely heaving. And these kind of developments are about spreading the tourism around London, creating new destinations for tourists to come to, and making sure that London stays competitive as a tourist
destination. So how effective has that been?
Well, at the moment, it looks like it's been fantastically effective. I mean, you have millions of people coming to a part of London that people, even local people, didn't visit 5 years ago, let alone 10 years ago, and you hope that that carries on into the future. It's a bit of a gamble, but with the new transport links, all these new venues, you hope they continue to attract people.
Yes, as you say, you can't truly measure the success of the legacy, until you get a number of years away from the event. What do you think the legacy will be for this area? Do you think it's going to thrive, to continue to grow, or is there a danger that it could become a little bit of a ghost town again with, these fantastic venues sitting in the middle of it?
I think what we've learned from all this sporting success over the last couple of weeks is that if you want things to succeed, you have to invest in them. There has to be political will, there has to be a large amount of money spent, there has to be popular support, and it's those things that we hope we can learn from the sport that will support the legacy. For this stuff to work, we really need to be looking at it in 10 years' time, in 20 years' time, and it's only then that we'll really be able to tell.
What about the benefits for the rest of the country? I mean, do you think it's going to spread beyond London? I mean, well away from London.
I think it's unrealistic to think this project is really going to have a massive impact in Birmingham or Manchester or Glasgow, and we shouldn't really be judging it like that. Obviously the politicians have to sell it like that to get people to accept spending the money, but we didn't expect the Commonwealth Games in Manchester to transform East London, and we shouldn't expect the East London Games to transform East Manchester. I think these are political arguments that politicians need to have, but there's no evidence that that kind of benefit will really be seen.
And in terms of trying to put a number of years on it before we see the true legacy, as is hoped the legacy will be, coming through to benefit the east of London, are we talking 10 years, even longer?
There are immediate benefits. If you look at Westfield and the shopping centre, thousands of jobs that have been created there. If you look at the fact the park will be reopening in a year, and there will be all these new attractions and new places to live, new places to work. They're the short-term benefits, but it will be another 10 or 20 years before we've got any chance of knowing whether it's
So in the immediate term, there is a bit of a shutdown, isn't that right? Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the park's going to be pretty much closed until July 2013. So almost a year from now, at which point it will start to open. The venues like the Aquatic Centre will have been reduced in capacity, there'll be new bridges, new areas, new public spaces. All of this stuff will start to open from 2013. The whole park will be open by 2014, and by then there'll be new homes on the site as well, so it'll be completely transformed. And if people expect to be able to come here and visit as soon as the Paralympic Games are over, they're going to be really disappointed. But a year from now, then it should be this fantastic place to come.
OK, James Kennell, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.